We are going to show you how you can send cards in the mail.
Plus the return of a classic game, this time done right.
And all the wallpapers you could ever want.
OMG, it's time for iOS
Today!
iOS Today comes to you from TWiT's LastPass Studios. You're focused on security, but are your employees? Oh, LastPass can ensure they are by making access and authentication seamless, whether employees are working in the office or remotely. Visit lastpass.com/twit to learn more.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
This episode of iOS Today is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile provides the same premium network coverage you're used to, but at a fraction of the costs because everything's online. Mint Mobile makes it easy to cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month with their 3-month introductory plan and get the plan shipped to your door free at mintmobile.com/iOS. And by Raycon. Raycon's wireless earbuds are perfect for conference calls, video calls, music, or binging podcasts. Now's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Go to buyraycon.com/iOS and you'll get 15% off your order today. Hello, everybody. I am Leo Laporte.
And I am Leo Laporte.
Thank you, Leo. Welcome.
You're very welcome.
I like your shirt. Is that batik?
No, wait, hold on. Is batik a pattern?
Well, not technically. Technically, it's a technique for making fabrics by using an ink resist printing.
It is that then. Oh. It is that.
Yeah, it looks like batik.
Nice work.
Beautiful.
Nice call out there. Thank you.
I'm trying to be like my idol, Mikah Sargent.
Well, you're doing a darn good job. I do like that. That's one of my favorite coats that you have.
Really, that's funny because I was told at one point by a young woman who shall remain nameless that this made me look like an old man. And
I think she
said, never wear that coat again.
I disagree. I mean, maybe the lapels are a little wide.
They're very wide, aren't they? That's just because I've had this coat literally for probably 30 years, 30 or 40. This is an old jacket. But I like
love the pattern.
It's professorial. It's a tweed. I'm wearing tweed.
Yeah,
anyway,
I quite like it.
Our sartorial explorations having come to an end, what is the topic of the day today?
Today's topic, it's two things here. So one is that there kind of is a push right now. There's a lot of financial unknowns dealing with the United States Postal Service. And also, given that all of us, as we should be, are sheltering in place and social distancing, you might want to both support the Postal Service. Well, I say support the Postal Service, and you also might want to send cards to loved ones. And so we thought we would do an episode talking about some of the different apps that are out there that you should use and avoid the ones that you shouldn't use to send cards through the USPS.
Yay!
And that's what we're going to do today.
We love the Postal Service. Yes, we do. I really do. I have a real fondness from the age of like 8 because for me, the mail carrier never brought bills.
Right.
The mail carrier only brought presents. If something came for me in the mail, it was the Captain Crunch decoder ring I'd sent away for 18 months ago or something exciting like that. So I always looked for, actually, one of the things I did do as a kid, a little older, middle school, was play chess by mail. And
no way.
It was so much fun. I would get postcards from all over the world with the next move, with the person's next move. And sometimes the person, I was this person, by the way, would be really into it. So they would buy a set of rubber stamps that were the chessboard, one big one, and then lots of little stamps for the knights and the queen and the king and the pawns. And they would do a rubber stamp of the position with their move on it, and then they'd write NE4 ! And they'd mail it to me. And it was so
cool.
much fun. And you're playing with people all over the world. This was back in the day when the United States Chess Federation used to have a tournament called the Golden Knights tournament. And I played it, and I was a finalist. I got to the third round of the Golden Knights, which meant, given that it took about a year, maybe a year and a half to play each round, you'd play 6 games at once. But so you would get cards every day. You'd get a move every day. And in fact, I had a notebook that you would keep a position in because you have to keep track of it. So you'd move the piece, and then you'd think and think and think, and then you'd send them their move. You have 3 days to send the move back. So that slowed things down a little bit too.
That's a lot of stamps.
Yeah. And it took a year and a half per round. I got to the third round. So this was a 5 or 6 year journey to get to the finals of the Golden Knights. I was playing, the I guess it was probably, I'm trying to think, 78 Golden Knights finished up in 1984 or something like that.
Wow.
So, so you had a certain amount of patience, but that's why I love my mail carrier, because I looked forward to the mail. And I like going to the post office. We have I'm sorry, I'm going to go on and on.
No, please. That's fine.
One moment, please, while I digress. We have in Petaluma, you've probably seen it, there's a modern post office near us, but there's an old-fashioned, it's probably Depression era because it has the murals and everything. Post office is the one I go to. That's where my post office box is, and it's a beautiful old brass, with lots of finials and things, post office box with a key, and you open it and you take your mail out. I still love all of that. I love that process. So I'm a fan of the Postal Service. In fact, I know many former mail carriers and so forth. So the first thing you should do is download the U.S. Postal Service mobile app. Yes, they have a mobile app.
They do.
I want to mention
delivery.
Yeah, I want to mention, of course, our sponsor, Stamps.com, which you can also use. They don't have a mobile app; it's a website, but you can buy, and that's usually where I get my stamps. But you can also do this without visiting the post office. You can go to the USPS store, and they have it. And Bugs Bunny Forever stamps are available today, or get an American flag stamp. I'm not sure why the forever is crossed out there.
I know. I don't understand that either. I've been wondering that.
Maybe it's not forever anymore.
My great-grandpa was a philatelist, and so he kind of instilled the love of the USPS in me when I was quite young.
Yay.
And always collected stamps as a philatelist.
That. Yeah.
And he had forever stamps. I still have forever stamps that he gave me, but now they're crossed out, and I don't know what that means.
I think that means they're not good anymore, that they decided they're not really forever, and you have to buy some extra stamps. There's even built-in scanning so that you can scan the barcode to search for your mail, I guess. The other thing I would suggest signing up for, and this is also a side note, but I signed up for it, and this depends on those scanning machines, so I don't know how much longer this is going to work, but whenever mail that is sent to you is scanned, you'll get a text message from the Postal Service that'll say, it's not as helpful as like the FedEx text messages where they tell you all sorts of, even then though, sometimes the Postal Service will say, the FedEx will say, they'll say what it was, but they won't say what you're getting and that kind of thing. But let me see if I can find my texts, because I get texts from the Postal Service. Yeah, here it is, every day. I just want to show you what this looks like. You can sign up for this service. Expected delivery by Thursday by 8 p.m. and then this long tracking number. Shipping label created. Delivered to the front door, 10:35 a.m. So this is a really nice service that the Postal Service offers. It's called Informed Delivery. And actually, you could just go to informeddelivery.com and sign up for it. But I really like that. They'll even you can even see pictures of the mail that as it's being scanned, which is cool.
My great-grandma does not like to. My grandma, she has a mailbox that is part of one of those like big units where multiple people go and get their mail. She lives in like a cul-de-sac.
Right.
And so she doesn't want to go to the mail every day and check her mail, only if there's something important that she needs. And so I said, "Oh, Grandma, I've got something for you." And I
so
set
you
her
know
up.
all about this. Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
I love informed delivery because she gets her email every day. She looks and she sees what mail was scanned in, and she says, "Okay, I want that, and I need to go and get that," or I can wait. I can come get that mail later. And so it's really helpful for her, but it's also helpful for folks who are trying to make sure that they get all of their mail, because what's cool is that it will actually give you a little button you can click and say, I didn't get this mail piece and I need that mail piece. So can you help me, find it if I don't see it? So I'll show you. Here is one example of a piece of mail that right here, you can see it's scanned in.
Isn't that cool?
And yeah, this is from Rad
this.
Power Bikes.
Are you getting an email?
No. That was just what is the word? It was just an advertisement. But I know now, I just got junk mail in there. I don't need to go to my mailbox right away. I got to tell you a story, though, because this is a recent story,
Uncle Mikey.
And it makes me heart the Postal Service even more. So the other day, one of the situations because of COVID-19 is that my townhome owner complex thingy, they don't let the USPS deliver packages to the front desk, and then people go and pick up their packages from the front desk.
That's how they should do it.
Which is how they should do it. Instead, you have to go to the nearest USPS place and pick them up there. So there's an annex nearby where I can go and pick up my mail. So Amazon, unfortunately, not entirely unfortunately, but only unfortunately in this situation, uses the USPS sometimes to deliver mail. Great that the USPS is getting money through that, but it can get annoying whenever I have to go there to get my mail instead of being able to get it at my front, doorstep. Anyway, I go over there. I talk to the person, and the guy's like, "Oh man, you've got a lot of packages. You might have to make a couple of trips back and forth from the door to the car." And so I didn't realize that I had gotten that many. It had been a while, like 2 weeks or so.
Oh, happy day!
So I get all these packages, and I'm taking them to my car, and we have a quick conversation. He's a super nice guy, and he was saying, we'll have to figure something out so that when you've got a bunch of packages, so you're not waiting. I know you've got a P.O. box here, because I do. And so maybe, we can figure something out with that where some of them can go in the P.O. box. So anyway, I leave and I get back to my house, and I realize that my wallet is not on my person.
Oh, no.
And that is a very rare thing for me, to lose my wallet. I'm very cautious with it. And so it always just completely throws my mind off if I've ever lost my wallet. And it kind of just like ruins my day. I think as it would anyone. So I'm kind of freaking out. Oh dear. Oh no. And I'm looking between, all the places that I've walked, and I realize it's got to be at the postal annex. So I drive back to the postal annex, or I start to drive back to the postal annex. I'm getting in my car, and I get this notification from Instagram. And I look on Instagram, and it's an Instagram direct message, and it says, "Mikah, someone turned in your wallet here at the post office."
They use Instagram for this?
Right? I said, "Oh, thank God. I'm on my way. I'm coming to pick it up."
I guess
so
it could be worse. I guess I could mail it to
Right. It would have taken longer, right? So they were trying to find a way to message me quickly. And here's where things get pretty cool. So I get to the postal office, and I have to go around back. The guy tells me, go around back and go through these doors. So
That's
I'm
the wallet
going
pickup.
through this whole annex. Yeah, exactly. The wallet pickup door. I get inside, and I walk, I've got my mask on and everything, and everybody there has their masks on. And I walk up to the guy, and I said, "Thank you so much. That was awesome." And he goes, "Do you work with Leo Laporte?"
Oh.
And I said, "I do." He said, "You're Mikah Sargent." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I watched your review of the iPad keyboard, and it was very helpful for me to, decide if that was something that I wanted to get. And so I just wanted to return the favor.
Wow.
Here's your wallet back. And so, yeah, he had seen my ID,
That's why
realized who I was, messaged me on Instagram.
Yeah.
So thank you so much if you're watching
really
today.
Sweet. That's really a sweet story.
Oh,
See, another reason to love the mailman.
Yeah.
And woman. Well, I have a mail woman, so that's why
mail
I call
person,
it mail carrier. So this informed delivery is available on iOS. I didn't realize. If you want to, it's informeddelivery.usps.gov. I got the address wrong, but you can sign in. You could sign up here. It's a really, it's not as great as I'd like it to be. It's not perhaps as fancy as FedEx. But FedEx doesn't send you a picture of your package on its way. So they have some things that are better. I pretty much like this. I would recommend starting by signing up. It also shows a little vote for the USPS and support for the USPS. In fact, everything we're going to do here shows that. Buy stamps there or our sponsor stamps.com. Actually, that's how I get my stamps because I can print them, which is nice.
Yeah, which is very nice.
And but that's okay. The Postal Service actually loves stamps.com, and they have a relationship that's called Indicia, and there are only a couple of people I think who are allowed to do this. Used to be more companies that do it, but it's all kind of squinched down to one or two. It might only be stamps these days. So anyway, on we go. On we go.
On we go. The first app that I want to talk about, it's probably one of my mom's. It's kind of my mom's secret weapon. She loves this app called Punkpost. Punkpost.
Oh, this is cool.
Is a way for you to send hand-lettered cards to people. And in fact, I believe on the wall, the TWiT wall outside of your studio, there is a Punkpost card from my mom. Yeah, if you want to grab that.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to see TWiT team really big and hand lettering on it. So I'll talk about Punkpost while you look for that. So Punkpost is awesome because they have hired a team of, or, occasionally hire a team of freelance illustrators and letterers to handwrite cards for you. So the message on the front and the message inside is actually hand lettered by a person, and it's done up in whatever style you choose. So I could, for example, maybe I want to send a professional card here, and I want to send a thank you. And so, oh man, that dog one disappeared. I kind of want that one. Let's go with You Rock My Socks. So I tap on You Rock My Socks, and on the outside, it'll say, thank you here. You choose the message that you want to actually be handwritten by an artist. And, so I'd say, thank you so much for your time. I hope you will consider me for this position.
Always
and
nice
whatever else you would want.
Thank you for the interview card. That's very good. Yeah.
And then you can choose a handwriting style, elegant, simple, formal, fun, sweet. And that's just kind of a baseline of what you would have. You can choose what accent colors you would want. So I would choose like match card color, for example. And then you choose next. And you can choose to add confetti inside of the card if you want to for $1 extra.
If you really want to make people insane.
You can add photos inside, so high-quality photo prints for $1 extra.
Is it in confetti and glitter? Because glitter, you can never get glitter out. You can never.
I hope it's just confetti.
It looks like glitter. That's so bad. Please don't.
Don't do that part.
Please.
Although now I have to send Leo a card with confetti. Each card is a 4x4 square print, and you can actually include gift cards. So it's a certificate that you can include inside for $20, $50, or $100.
You know what? I'm signing up for this. This is exactly what I've been looking for.
And then you choose next. You put in the information that you want, and here's the cool part. This app will send this. They will assign it to an artist. An artist will take a photo of their work, and then you can approve it.
Oh my gosh!
Say
this must
yes,
cost a lot.
This is what I want.
I didn't realize it's not mechanical. There's somebody actually doing this.
This is an actual artist that's doing it. It actually starts at $5.50 for a small card, $7 for a medium-sized card, and
postage.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
And then $9.50 for a hand foiled card, so you can get like that shimmery look.
Oh my gosh! How long does it take to get here?
I
It
think
must take a while if somebody's doing
I think my mom said it took. I think it takes like 2 weeks. Is it?
Okay.
So you do need to do it plenty of.
Let me show you the card your mom sent. This is so cool. So she visited. Ty visited us a couple of months ago. Thank you very much. There's a nice Elvis on the front. She obviously chose that, and this it looks like a human did it. That's why I was kind of blown away. I mean, they've drawn it and then an ink, and then they filled it in. They colored it in. They're using different color felt pens. This is really sweet. This looks really real. I wish they didn't do this on the back, because then people will know you got it from Punkpost. But it's still pretty good.
That's how they only charge $5.57 and $9.50 is the free.
I'm signing up
on the back,
because
I think this is great.
I had a couple of things that I always mention when we talk about these, both of which have gone out of business. So remember we've talked before about Bill Atkinson's photo card, which I used to use all the time to send pictures of our travels. They're beautiful. They're heavy stock. And he decided it was just too much work to do the printing, so its photo card's still around, but it's email only now. They don't do the mailing, and you see they actually put a stamp on there and everything. And then I was using another company called Bond that was kind of like this, but they would use nice cardstock, and they would use a pen, an auto pen, to write, and you could even have your own handwriting if you bought it. And I had a subscription to that, $5 a month. They went out of business last year, so I'm going with this one. This is because I want to send thank you cards. I'm not good at it. And
I'm bad at it too.
My handwriting's not good and all that. This would be so nice. This is great. Punkpost.
Yeah. And it's also, I think this is a neat feature too, that there's a Discover feature that shows different artists' work. And so you can kind of see, this is what, one of the artists does.
This is signed
You're a
by
cutie
the
with
artist.
a booty.
This is signed by, it says Kirby Darden did this.
There you go, Kirby Darden. And my mom said that if you bookmark an artist, if that artist is available, they will do your card. So if you start to find that you have a favorite artist, of the different ones that are on there, you can favorite them by bookmarking them. And then if that artist is available, they'll be the one that does your card.
The other thing I feel good about with this is you're supporting artists.
Exactly. Support both artists and the USPS together with Punkpost.
Punkpost. I'm getting it right now. Is it a subscription or you just pay as you go?
Pay as you go.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. Because I had a subscription to Bond, and I never used it. So yeah. I love this. All right. Very nice. I love it. What else you got?
Alrighty.
Maybe I shouldn't sign up for Punkpost until I hear what else you got.
This one, there are actually two that are very similar that I want to talk kind of in tandem. And the first one is ink cards. So you may have heard about ink cards. I'm trying to decide where I want to do this because, again, you've got a situation where it's portrait on the iPad. So I think I'll show it on my iPhone. So this is ink cards, and these are, if you're looking for a way to do it for less money, these start at $2. So we'll skip that for now. They have a bunch of different options that are available. So let's say, it's somebody's birthday coming up, and you can see all these different kinds of cards that are available. You're old, but like cool old. That's funny. And then let's see, we will don't want to allow that. You can add the photo that you want to add. And so let's see. We'll do this of Henry. You can change the type of color that you've got there. You can actually change the outline. So you could have different die cut versions. You add your message. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Eat lots of cake, for example.
Aww.
Now, there are different versions here. You can get a classic postcard. It's glossy. It's $2. Includes the postage. You can get the matte card that's actually sent in an envelope. It's $4, or you can go all out and send a set of them. So that's the one thing too that I like about ink cards, is that if you are trying to do something like a bunch of thank you cards, and so you want to get them delivered to you and then you send them out independently, this is a great way to do it. My sister uses ink cards for all sorts. She's a bit of an event planner without the official job of doing that. And so for graduations, for the baby shower that happened, all those different kinds of things. And I think, every year, if you're a person that sends out Christmas cards, this can be good for that. So we'll choose this middle one, and you can change all sorts of things. You can change the typeface that's being used. You can change the color, et cetera, et cetera. You can sign your name and actually sign it. So Leo TWiT.
Nice.
And then I just want to get to the end here, and then you add your recipients. Oh, I just want it to be sent to me, and it actually sends a blank envelope with it. I'm popping out of that so that I can put in my name and address really quick, so I can show you the final step of this. But like I said, the good thing about this, the thing that I quite like, is that it does actual multiple cards that you can send. I think that that's super helpful if you have a design that you want. And a lot of these services are now doing this, gift cards. So this used to not be a possibility, but now I can choose to add a gift card to Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's go with DoorDash, a former sponsor. And we'll choose a $15 card, and 555, 555, 5555, and done. Okay, so it's not going to let me enter in a fake number, I guess. But let's go to the end here. And, I already did that, I thought. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so then there you go. Now you can check out, and you can see the card itself costs $4. I added a $15 DoorDash gift card. It doesn't cost anything for the postage, and the envelope is included as well. And you can actually just check out right there, meaning that you can use Apple Pay to pay for the cards. So starting as low as $2, and the ability to add gift cards in there, I think, is really fantastic, because this could take care of a lot of different tasks that you have. Someone's birthday's coming up, someone's graduation is coming up, someone's feeling unwell, and you want to send them a gift card to like CVS or something where they can get some goods. And yeah, there's so many different options in here to choose from. So I think this is a pretty great app for that. But I want to talk about the other one that is very similar, and it is called Felt. So Felt is another sort of gift card option. We'll scoot out of that. And you can choose between 3 different types of card. Greeting card, which will have text on the front, a photo card, or a photo caption card, meaning that there's a photo with a little bit of words on the bottom. So let's choose a photo card, and we will go to favorites. And then I'll choose that card again, or that photo again. You can filter out the photo exactly as you want. You can add different texts that you might want in here for birthdays or get well soons or whatever it happens to be. And so I'll just randomly choose one. Thank you. You can adjust the photo how you need to. You can crop the photo in how you want to. And then you get to add the text that you want and all that kind of stuff. And then you can send it. Now, this one is kind of neat. And this is why I wanted to talk about this, because my partner used this, I think it was around my birthday.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
And yeah, see how you can attach multiple photos to it. So the first one was, I think, a photo of us. The second one had his message, but then the third one was this hilarious photo of Steve Carell sitting in his chair in The Office. And so it was a little reference to The Office because we both love that show. And so you can attach up to 4 different frames to the photo. And I think that's super cool as an addition. And then I don't know if you noticed. Okay, I think the app froze. I wanted to show, so you can add candy or gift cards or a coffee gift card and different things like that. So again, this didn't used to be a possibility within these apps to be able to add things to your gift card, but now they've added the ability to. Here we go. They've partnered with different companies, so you could get lavender and a bath bomb that you could add to it. You can get some almond biscuits, some dino temporary tattoos. Now we're talking.
That's romantic.
Right. These candies from the Candy Club, gummy unicorns.
That's kind of cool. You could do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Actual tea and coffee blends that you can send. And so much more here. Like I said, including some gift cards. Oh, there you go. There's Leo's favorite. Some confetti.
Well, that I don't mind. That's actual confetti. Just don't put glitter in it. Confetti
no glitter along with it.
I can vacuum up confetti, but glitter.
Looks like you can send cash money, too.
What? Cash money? Like put real money inside it?
You could put real money in your card.
Now I want to use this one instead of Punkpost.
I know. Isn't it complicated? As well as loads of different gift cards if you want that, too.
This is good.
Yeah. These are all, I think, very interesting. So that's ink cards and felt, which are both similar options. Ink cards starts at $2 and felt starts at $4.
Yeah, I've used felt. I kind of like felt.
I felt that.
I felt it. Do you have one that you favor?
Sorry, between the two, I really like felt as well.
I sent this, by the way, I should warn you on felt. I think this is actually why Megan quit. Because I sent her this card plus $2.
Oh, my God.
And I never heard from her again. So
my great uncle loves to give us $2 bills in birthday cards. He loves $2 bills.
Yeah, they're great. So anyway, be careful.
That could be why. Yeah. Careful what you send.
It was just for fun, Megan. Please, I beg of you. No, but yeah, this is really one of my favorites. I love it. And I love it that you could put cash in it. That's just hysterical.
I know, right?
Yeah, so that's felt. And then now you were going to tell me about, and I've also done Postagrams. Because this, yeah, I don't have Instagram anymore, but if I did, this is a really good solution.
Yeah, so Postagram is good if it's for sending photos very easily as greeting cards using your Instagram or other social media. So I will just show an example of one here. Again, I'm running into the issue of why do all of these apps want to be portrait on? Don't offer me an iPad app if you can't do landscape.
It shouldn't happen. It should never happen.
If you're going to offer me landscape, then please, or if you're going to offer me an iPad app, then please let me do it in landscape mode. So let me quickly add a photo to this, and just so you can see kind of how this one works. It's very similar. You know, you choose a photo, you can put the text that you want, you can filter the photo how you want, you can change the design here. And so we'll go with a nice beach theme. You add your recipient, and I'm not going to allow that. And so we'll say Leo, and we'll put in the Eastside Studios address. I don't know why it didn't.
One of the nice things about a lot I is that you can just start the address and it seems to just know magically.
Yeah, I like how that.
I do prefer doing this, by the way. Sometimes people send e-greetings. And I think there's two reasons there's multiple reasons. I'm going to say three, maybe four, but there's three reasons that you want to do these physical cards. One, support the Postal Service. Two, everybody appreciates a physical card compared to an email card. It just, there's something more tangible about it. I mean, the drawback, of course, is it's going to take some time. But the third reason is when you're sending e-greetings, you're giving the e-greetings company your recipient's email address. And I feel like that's a betrayal, in some ways a betrayal of privacy. Now, I guess in order to mail a card, they have to have the physical address. That doesn't bother me as much. You're not going to get spammed at your physical address because you bought a physical card from somebody and had them mail it. But
Right.
I do think that you might well get spammed, that they probably do collect email addresses you give to them. And a lot of these apps say, hey, saves time filling in addresses. Just give us your contact list. Please don't do that.
Don't choose
Please
okay.
don't do that. Yeah.
Just type in the ones that you
Just
want.
type it in. And the nice thing is in most cases, you start and they'll go, you mean this? And you go, yeah, that's it. You don't have
They're
to. You don't get
probably
very
using Melissa for that.
far. I would bet they're using one of our sponsors, Melissa, to do the fill-in. That's exactly right. Yeah.
And then the last one I just wanted to mention, this one starts at $8 and it is called Print Studio. And this is if you want to take your online photos, like your Instagram, again, for example, and turn those into something that you get as physical copies. So, for example, here you can see mini photo prints, a set of 48 cardstock prints on thick paper with a smooth matte finish, and they start at $18, and they come in these little tiny prints that you can pass out if you want to. You can prop them up against something. You can put a magnet on the back of them, or you can hang them in whatever method you want to choose. And it lets you add these. So you can add photos from your library, or you can connect your Instagram or something like that. And then you pay for them at the end, and then they're shipped to you. So this is, I like this one if not so much for the greeting cards, because I think there are other ones that do greeting cards better. But if you are looking for a way to get that's the thing about like digital prints, cool. There are digital versions of your photos. They're out there, but having physical versions in hand is so much fun. And I've used Print Studio in the past to print off a bunch of square prints from my Instagram, and I had them hanging up on my wall in a really nice, I think it was like a 9x9 grid. And then anytime I wanted to, I could go and order some more prints and then replace a couple of them on the wall. So it was kind of an always rotating display of different, mostly photos of my dogs, but different photos for my Instagram that I wanted to change out. I just had little bulldog clips on each one, and they were hanging on little tacks. And so it looked quite nice. It kind of looked like an art display, but also because of how easy it was to print these out and order new ones whenever I wanted them, I had this always rotating display of photos that I could change out. And like I said, because of the inexpensive nature of Print Studio, which are printed right here in California, it was very easy to do this. Here it is. Nice. My little display of photos from Print Studio I was able to pass out there. So
it's nice to get the prints. I love physical prints,
Yeah, there's something different about that. I having them on my Instagram, scrolling through them, that's fine. But to actually have these physical versions here, and like I said, changing them out as I wanted to, was quite lovely. Leo, I think that's going to do it unless you've got anything else you want to talk about.
I didn't have much to contribute because, as I said, the two services I use all the time went out of business. Which is why you should probably, if you find one you like Punkpost or Felt or any one of these, support them because they, like the Postal Service, are hanging by a thread. But now should be the time we send more cards than ever before. This is, during the quarantine, sending cards to people is a great way to stay in touch,
Absolutely.
I'm going to send one to my mom. I just sent one to Lisa. I sent a Punkpost to Lisa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send a few.
I can't show it to you because it's kind of racy.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I won't say what it was, but I did have a good laugh. My mom, she's a jokester, and so my partner sent a card to her, I think for Christmas, that was a little racy, and it was hilarious. She loved it.
Yeah.
So there are.
It's a little racy.
Right. Exactly. It's just a tad. Yeah. There are different ones in there for all sorts of senses of humor, is what I'll say.
And you've done all of these. So I wasn't the only Postagram. I was a little disappointed because it's like it's attached to the card and you punch it out. So there's, it wasn't crazy about the presentation on that one. It was okay.
It's one of the least expensive ones. So
That's
I kind of
the
wanted to cover the
advantage.
gamut of prices. Yeah. And so ink cards and Postagram both start at just $2,
That's the advantage.
including postage.
What do you think? What's your favorite of all? If you had to pick just one.
If I had to pick one, good golly. It's between Punkpost and Felt.
Yeah.
But I think it would be Punkpost because it's actually real handwriting, real lettering, real
That's so
stuff.
cool. And you're supporting an artist.
Artists, independent artists.
Yeah, so I mean,
So I gotta go with Punkpost.
This is pretty amazing that somebody spent all that time doing that. That's like my high school girlfriend would do that. No one else has that kind of time. So that's pretty amazing. That's really nice. Yeah. Wow. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our show today brought to you by, I got a great deal for you. If you're deal focused, and I know many of us these days, money's tight, look at your cell phone bill, just out of curiosity, and see how much you're paying a month. I think when you add all the hidden fees and services and the overages, and the cell phone companies really take us for a ride these days. $70, $80, sometimes as much as $100 a month per line. There's a better way. A service that provides the premium service, the premium network coverage you're expecting, but at a fraction of the cost. It's Mint Mobile. I got my first cell phone, from, I think my first carrier way back, it would have been 1999, 2000, was Sprint. And in those days, maybe 50, 60 bucks, maybe even 40 bucks. But over the years, that was 20 years ago. Over the years, they've all gotten up closer to $100 a month. Then I discovered Mint Mobile, and it was like, why am I paying so much? Mint Mobile cut my wireless bill down. The initial deal I did, the 3-month deal, was $15 a month. $15 a month. That includes unlimited nationwide talk and text. You don't pay for texts ever. Crazy fast 4G LTE. I think I got 3 gigabytes, which was actually most months plenty. That was $15 a month. And then I thought, I want more gigabytes. Give me more gigabytes. How do I get more gigabytes? And I looked at their various plans, and I ended up opting. 1 year, I paid the whole year ahead of time. This is the phone. $300. That's a year. So it's $25 a month. Unlimited nationwide talk and text. And 12 gigabytes a month of LTE, which I've never even come close to. I don't even use half of that. But it's $25 a month. It's less than a third what I'm paying T-Mobile. And the funny thing is, it's T-Mobile. It's T-Mobile service. So I'm like banging my head, like, what am I doing here? I also got this great iPhone SE. If you're looking for a phone for your parents or somebody in your family who needs a phone and you don't want to spend a lot of money, the iPhone SE is a great deal. At Mint Mobile, $15 a month for the iPhone SE and $15 a month for the service. $30 a month, a third what I'm paying Verizon for service, for instance, and you get both the phone and the service. What? Premium wireless for $15 a month. Of course, if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. You don't have to buy the phone. You can bring your own phone. They have a little checker on the website to see if your phone's compatible. And then they mail you the SIM for free. By the way, most of those other companies charge you just for a SIM card. They send it to you for free. You can port your number over so you keep the same number, the same phone, the same contacts, but you just don't keep that big old bill. Mint Mobile saves money by not having stores, by doing everything online. No, they don't do a lot of extra hidden fees or anything like that. In fact, they don't do any. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really a great deal. I don't know why everybody isn't doing it. Cut your wireless bill down to just $15 a month with their 3-month introductory plan and get the plan shipped to your door free. It's Ryan Reynolds Phone Company, my friends. If it's good enough for Ryan Reynolds, it's good enough for me. mintmobile.com/iOS. I love his TV. I don't know. I keep seeing his TV ads for Mint Mobile, and they're so you see the one where he's doing the PowerPoint presentation?
No, you got
to watch more TV.
Watch television.
Yeah. Got to watch more TV. Mint Mobile or listen to more podcasts because I'll do it for you. MintMobile.com/iOS. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month. Such a good deal. MintMobile.com/iOS. And now, the news.
The news. Up first, Apple announces Apple Music Radio.
Yeah, they did some big changes this week.
Yeah, big changes have taken place here. So it used to be Beats One worldwide, and that has now been changed. Instead of just Beats One, the global radio station, Apple has renamed it Apple Music One.
Right.
And 2 additional radio stations are coming, including Apple Music Hits and Apple Music Country. So Apple Music Hits is going to celebrate songs from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And Apple Music Country, as you might imagine, focuses on country music. Who would have thought? So now you've got 3 different stations for Apple Music One, and it's the Apple icon, then Music One. You've got Zayn, Lowe, and Snoop Dogg, Elton John, and a bunch more for the launch thing. It's actually live right now. It goes until noon. And so as part of this launch special, Snoop Dogg, Elton John, and some other folks are coming in to talk about the launch. And then you've got on Apple Music Hits, Jade, Strombo, and Estelle, who are celebrating the launch of Apple Music Hits. And then over on Apple Music Country.
Strombo's on it, huh?
Good old Strombo.
Do you know Strombo?
Good old Strombo.
No. It's funny.
I don't know any of that.
George Strombolopoulos. Yeah. Does that ring a bell? No, it doesn't. He's big in Canada.
Okay.
But
is this real or are you doing a bit?
No,
here?
I'm not. This is real. He was kind of under a cloud, though. That's why I'm kind of surprised to hear that Strombo is back. I like Strombo.
I love that Snoop's section of Apple Music Hits is called Uncle Snoop's Army Radio.
Army Radio. Be in the Snoop Army. We know what the special treatment is for Snoop's Army.
Yes, we do.
No, I'm glad. Strombolopoulos used to do I think he still does a regular show on the CBC, and I think he does an evening show too. But Strombo is a huge celeb in Canada, so it's kind of cool they got him. I think that's what they did with Beats One. Remember Julie Antonuga and all these people I'd never heard of, but who apparently were very big
in other places. Now, Leo,
we always thought Apple was going to do this with their radio. That in fact, right at the beginning when they launched it, the rumor was really strong they were going to have multiple stations with multiple styles. So I don't know what took them so long, but I will be listening. I will be.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I listened to Apple Music Radio when it first launched, and I didn't enjoy it. But I guess I'm just not one for having commentary during
music too much
listening.
Talking. I agree with you. That's exactly.
It was overdone.
And
lead into the next song, but don't talk over the music.
We're in a different era now where we can play music, any kind of music, all kind of music all night long without anybody talking. And it's kind of funny because that's how radio used to be. Very high personality driven. And it's interesting that Apple's going with this again still, right? They even mention, hey, look who we have hosting the shows. Because I think they believe that curation and the information provided by these talented people who, I mean, the reason they chose them is because they're, music fans. But I just wonder if the world has moved on from that or not. I don't know.
Apparently not too much because Apple's going even more into the radio.
Doesn't mean that's what people
somebody
want.
Likes it.
Just means that's what Apple's doing.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Let's see what's next. Oh, this is a report out of Bloomberg, and it suggests that Apple is going, or it actually is launching a discounted video content bundle.
And that's no rumor anymore. That was actually announced.
So
they launched that today.
There you go. Apple, if you're an Apple TV Plus subscriber, you will also get access to CBS and Showtime channels in Apple TV's app for $9.99 per month.
Half price.
Yes, you get 50% off essentially. Honestly, that's good because CBS is one that I have paid for on its own due to the fact that it had Star Trek on it, and so I wanted to be able to watch that. Showtime, I don't care so much about, but if you can get them both,
there's
for the price
a show
of one,
on Showtime that's really good called Billions. Billions. Okay. Highly recommend it. And there's a lot of Showtime shows that are really good. We liked Ray Donovan. I like Showtime. Showtime's not quite HBO, but it's close.
That should be their tagline.
Yeah, we're not quite HBO, but we're getting there.
Now, on Thursday of last week, quite literally during Tech News Weekly, we had gone into that episode, talking about Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite.
OMG, has this gotten to be a soap opera?
This absolutely a soap opera. So going into it, all we knew is that Epic Games introduced a way to circumvent Apple's 30% pay cut. And so you could go in and buy the little tokens or coins or whatever money it is that they use in Fortnite without having to pay 30% using Apple's own mechanism for pay.
They effectively discounted it. So the thing is, Fortnite is free. It's a free game. They've made billions of dollars. It's available on iOS, Android, Xbox, PlayStation, PCs. I think you can even play it on Macs. Very popular. It's made them worth, I think, more than $12 billion. Tim Sweeney, their founder, made $7 billion last year on Fortnite alone. So it's very lucrative. But the money doesn't come from the game, which is free. It comes from downloadable content. And Apple has been taking 30% when you buy it on Apple's. And so, by the way, Google has too. So as you said, last week on Thursday, Epic said, no, we're done with this. Remember, for a while, they didn't offer it on the Google Play Store. They said, sideload it. You don't need to go to the store. Sideload it. But I think not enough people did. There was security issues involved. In fact, at the very beginning, the download was modified to be malware by a bad guy. And so they decided, all right, we're going to bite the bullet and go in the Play Store. But all along, I think they've been planning this because they had a movie, a little trailer, 1984 trailer. They had a complete 30-page lawsuit prepared. And so they did it, knowing that both Google and Apple would respond. They did. Both Google and Apple pulled Fortnite, one of their most popular games, off the App Store. Epic immediately sued, but Apple, and I think this does not reflect well on Apple at all, has now doubled down.
This is wild to me. So that there's a video that that Epic put together. That's
they kind of taunted the beast. We're not saying that they didn't.
But Apple. So Epic Games is suing Apple, and Apple is now stopping Epic Games from being able to.
They're going to pull their license.
All of their whole license is being taken away.
Pull their developer account. Now, this is important. By the way, they said it's not happening right away. What did they say? They gave them some time, 30 days or something. Or no, next week. I can't remember. How soon is it? It's pretty soon.
I can't. Yeah. So I think normally you get 30 days or something like that. But with them, it might even be less.
I have the story here. I'm going to have to look it up because this is actually shocking. Apple's epic retaliation. This is from VentureBeat, their games beat. They're going to. Apple is revoking Epic's permissions to develop tools for iOS and Mac on August 28th. Now, this is basically retaliation. I mean, maybe there is somewhere in fine print in the contract that says, well, if you're going to start selling stuff, you can't have a developer account. But what this effectively does is not only prohibit Fortnite updates on iOS. Remember, if you downloaded Fortnite, you still have it. They didn't delete it from your phone. They just said new people can't download it. But now you won't be getting updates, which is a significant deal with Fortnite because that's how you get the new stuff that makes them the money. But, and this is a really serious concern to the entire gaming world, not just Epic. Epic also makes the Unreal Engine, which is a graphics engine that's used by developers for a huge number. I don't even know what number of iOS games, but it's probably the single most popular graphics engine. And there's some concern that this means the Unreal Engine will no longer be supported on Apple platforms. And so Epic has immediately filed for injunctive relief. They've asked the court, because this will happen August 28th, so they got 2 weeks, a little less. They've asked the court for relief, saying if the Unreal Engine can no longer support Apple platforms, the software developers that use it will be forced to use alternatives. The damage to Epic's ongoing business and to its reputation and trust with its customers will be unquantifiable and irreparable. Preliminary injunctive relief is necessary to prevent Apple from crushing Epic before this case could ever get to judgment. Furthermore, and they don't even say this, but it's absolutely true, hugely damage hundreds of other companies. This is, on the face of it, punitive from Apple and reprehensible. And it really makes me wonder if Apple is... Ben Thompson in Stratechery wrote a great piece yesterday saying Apple is no longer doing something that's the best for customers. That's what they always say. We always just want the best customer experience. Now they are very clearly doing things that, in fact, don't favor customers, but favor their business model. And I am very disappointed.
I agree with you. And I say this as a person who has no skin in the gaming world. I think that this is an awful choice, an awful choice to make.
It's
and I think, too,
incomprehensible that they would do this.
Especially because of the focus on the company right now in so many different ways dealing with antitrust, that to make this choice in the midst of all of that, that's what worries me the most. Because time and time again, Apple is being watched and confronted with accusations of antitrust concerns. And this just adds more evidence to the mounting body of evidence to suggest that there are issues and concerns there. I'm worried. This makes me worried. I'm waiting for Apple's response, and we'll talk about it when it comes out, probably later today. I imagine there'll be something before MacBreak Weekly today. But boy, the optics of this at least are terrible. And it's not just gamers. What it really shows is a heavy-handed monopolistic control of the ecosystem. And Apple can protest all it wants that we created this ecosystem, we created the value, but they did not create 100% of the value in the ecosystem. In fact, you could very clearly argue that it's the developers, the third-party developers like Epic, like everybody else in the App Store, who have really created the value on the iPhone. The iPhone before the App Store was not nearly as valuable as it has been since the App Store. And for Apple to say all of this has to redound to us, well, not all, but 30% no matter what, is questionable. And at this point, I think they've shown their hand, and I think this is going to not end well. It's very disappointing. Agreed. Well, let's talk about something that might not be as disappointing, and that is the report also out of Bloomberg that talks about Apple readying subscription bundles. So hot on the heels of announcing Apple Music Radio One, or whatever it's called now, there is also a report that suggests that Apple is working on something called Apple One. That's what it's called internally, at least. That's reportedly what it's called internally. And it is a set of bundles that would allow a user, think of it akin to Amazon Prime. You subscribe to Apple One, and with it, you get Apple Music, you get Apple TV Plus as the like base subscription. Then if you pay more per month, you can get Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, Apple News Plus, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. until, the most expensive bundle that would also include iCloud storage and potentially Apple. I can't even think what it's called now. The service that is like insurance.
Apple Care Plus.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't think of that.
That's a big change to Apple Care Plus. You have a whole year now to get it.
Yes, and that's the other thing is that apparently the company was not making as much money as it had wanted to on all of its services. And so normally whenever you would go and purchase a product, you could buy Apple Care right away, which was the insurance package that Apple provided, or you could buy it for a little bit longer after you had the product. But after a period of time, that option would go away. Now they're giving you a year. Within the first year of purchasing a product, you can buy Apple Care for your product, and that would protect you against screen breakage or whatever it happens to be, gives you extended access to Apple's phone support, etc. Now, these two things are independent, but it is important to understand that, for a long time, you have heard, if you've ever listened to one of the financial calls or you've ever read any of the transcripts of the financial calls, you have heard these investor folks ask about Apple offering some sort of Amazon Prime-like subscription service. Investors like businesses to have ways to consistently make money over and over and over and over again. And if you're a hardware company, that can be a little bit difficult because once everyone has the hardware that you sell, then you are running into an issue where people may not want to buy more of that hardware. So this, as a way to continuously make money off of people, is something that I think a lot of people have been wondering if Apple is going to do. So in that sense, it is no surprise to me that Apple is working on a series of subscription services.
We always speculated they'd be doing this. The thing is, this is not a very attractive package.
I agree.
It's like, I would love it if there'd be a great discount because you bought it all, but there isn't. It doesn't seem like there's much of a discount at all, right?
You're right. As Jason Howell actually pointed out, because he was kind of talking about Amazon Prime, you would just buy Amazon Prime for the 2 or 1 day shipping.
And then everything else is gravy.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else is gravy. With this, I don't want some of the stuff that's even included. So I don't know how you convince users that this is going to be, because essentially you would end up saving at most like $5 a month.
Yeah. It makes sense if you're already buying all those things.
Precisely.
But if you're not saving anything. Take one service out, and that's the $5 right there. So unless you're buying every single thing in the bundle, it doesn't make it's not a very good bundle, let's face it. We expected they would do this, but now I can't remember. Has this been announced? No, this is just a rumor.
No, this isn't announced, just a rumor.
Pricing could change by the time they announce this.
There is one thing that could convince me, and it was something that someone posed, and it's the idea that you would have a pay per month option for an iPhone that included these different things. So normally you'd pay, let's say $60 a month for a new iPhone. And I don't know exactly what the price is, but let's just say $60 a month for a new iPhone. Make that $70 a month. You get the new iPhone that you want. You get Apple Music. You get Apple TV Plus. You get Apple Arcade. And you get the upgraded iCloud storage plan. And so you're paying for your phone and all of the services that you would use on that phone all at once. That feels like more of a deal to sort of bundle it in with the hardware that you're already purchasing at a discounted rate, and you get all these different services all at once. That feels more like something that seems valuable than to simply make this intangible thing a separate service, unless, as you said, you're subscribed to all the different ones, because there's nothing compelling outside of, in my opinion, Apple Music, which I think is a very compelling thing. If that's the streaming service that you use, there's really nothing compelling about these other services.
If you have an Apple device, you got to use iCloud. So, by the way, Apple has responded to Epic's request for relief by saying, "Hey, I mean, this is actually effectively a Tony Soprano response. Hey, we want to keep Epic as part of the Apple Developer Program and their apps in the App Store, the problem Epic has created for itself can be easily remedied. Easily, if they would submit an update of their app that reverts it to comply with the guidelines they agreed to, and which applies to all developers. Now, I'm really curious if this extra step of taking away their developer keys is built into that agreement, or if this is a punitive extra step Apple's taking because Epic refuses to comply.
Oh.
So we'll talk about this. MacBreak Weekly, Renee Ritchie will, I'm sure, be digging on this, and we'll get the latest. But Apple's response is, hey, you could fix it. Just do exactly what we tell you to.
Very nice app you got there. Be a shame if something happened to it.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I agree.
We're going to take a break, come back with some suggestions, some questions, some answers. But first, I want to show you, I want to tell you something. You're paying too much for your earbuds. That's what I want to tell you. You're paying too much. That's why Raycon and Ray J has set up Raycon, these great wireless earbuds that cost less. Great for music, for podcasts, also for conference calls and video calls. This is my choice for wireless earbuds. Wireless earbuds from Raycon. Now, they have a couple of models. This is their inexpensive, and I think the ones I wear day in and day out, the everyday E25 earbuds. They're about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, but they're not half as good. They sound exactly as good, just as amazing as the more expensive brands. Turns out, and I'm not surprised, there's a lot of markup. This is the newest model, the everyday E25 earbuds. Best ones yet. 6 hours of playtime, plus then you put it back in the case, the charging case, and you get more. Seamless Bluetooth pairing. Couldn't be easier. The base is fantastic, and it's got a nice compact design. And notice you get a variety of tips in the box so you can get the exact fit you want. And then that way, you're going to have a even better sound response, and it's going to seal out all that background noise that you don't want to hear. The baby's crying. There's the cord, and here's the ear pieces. I actually have already modified these to be slightly larger because I have big ear holes. These are both stylish, but they're also discreet. Now, they come in a variety of colors. I decided to go a little bit less discreet. I got the bright red ones. But I think they look awfully good in my ear, and they sure sound good. And they fit. The fit is great. And look, they're not huge. Is the best part. They're not, they just do the greatest job. Stylish, discreet, no wires, no stems coming down looking like you're drooling out of your ear. Ray J founded it, but he has quite a few friends, including our good friend Snoop Dogg, who are
Uncle
big
Snoop.
fans. Snoop uses it. Cardi B is a big fan. Brandy, Melissa Etheridge, they're all obsessed with their Raycons. I am too. Pick up a pair and see what the hype is all about. I really think there's so much, people are marking up so much in the earbud business that you're silly to pay more for less. This is a great, look at those. I love these. They're so comfortable. Buy Raycon.com/iOS. And not only are you save because these are about half as much as the big guys overcharging you model, you'll also save 15% just because you went there to support iOS today. Now's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. That's buy, B-U-Y, Raycon.com/iOS. 15% off your brand new Raycon wireless earbuds. Buy Raycon.com/iOS. As they say, bow wow wow, yippee-yi, yippee-yay.
Yippee-yo.
That's what I say.
I love it.
They say, tell us what you think, Leo. I say, bow wow wow, yippee-yo, yippee-yi-yay. So, no,
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew that.
Didn't know I knew that, did you?
I didn't know you knew that.
Nope, I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it, and I do it. Because I am a Raycon fan. It's comfortable. You know, Apple's big sales pitch is, oh, look how easy these are to pair. Honestly, first of all, you only do it once. These pair so easily. It's seamless. Nothing to it. I just love it. I just don't understand why you'd pay more. Raycon. These are the everyday E25 true wireless earbuds. Nice.
Yes. Up first is, this is from Vic, who has a different take on the conversation we had about, so a while back we did an episode, was it Nerd Out or Geek Out on iOS? And I asked you your definition of a nerd and a geek. Yeah. And then last episode we had the hierarchy of nerds and geeks. This time we've got a Venn diagram from Vic. And the Venn diagram includes 3 categories here. You've got intelligence, you've got social ineptitude, and you've got obsession. And depending on which ones a person embodies, that determines which version of a geek, a nerd, a dork, or a dweeb they are. And only a nerd embodies intelligence, obsession, and social ineptitude, according to to Vic.
Plenty of geeks are socially inept. I think you're underselling us. You know, we can be just as socially inept as a nerd. Come on.
Maybe not all of these things are qualities that you want, but if you say so. I kind of just enjoy this ongoing conversation about what is what. And this is, one take on things. So, Vic, I want to thank you. If other people have other forms of nerds, geeks, dweebs, and dorks, please do let us know.
Please.
All right, next, this is a question from, or rather, this is awesome follow-up from David. So on episode 511 of iOS Today, a listener asked about, the listener was a postal service worker.
Hey. Probably the guy who Instagrammed you.
Yeah, and they were talking about how they were getting accidental touches on their Apple Watch. And I mentioned that newer versions of the watch had the feature that would block touches and taps if there was water on the screen. Well, David pointed something else out that said, okay, here's another possible thing that you should consider. Turn off the auto launch audio apps option. This might also solve the listener's problem because this way, when the watch wakes up, the audio controls aren't what is being displayed for their jacket to interact with. This is fantastic advice. I've included a link to iMore that shows you how to go about doing this. But Leo, are you able to show your Apple Watch on the screen?
Yeah, I can do that. So you
cool.
walk me through it.
I will walk you through the process.
Okay.
So your first step is to press the digital crown.
Okay.
So that you can go to your apps.
Okay.
And then you will choose settings.
Scroll down to settings. There it is, that little gear. Okay. I'm in settings.
And then choose general.
General. Yep.
And then you're going to choose wake screen.
Wake screen. Wake screen on wrist raise. Wake screen on
that you would want.
Crown up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
And then that last one
auto launch audio apps. Yep. Oh, on tap.
Yes. So auto launch audio apps, you should turn that one off if you are having these accidental taps. So basically what's happening here is
because it's putting it up on the screen and you're accidentally pausing it.
Yeah, if you're listening to something, then your watch is going to launch the audio app.
Yes,
I have that turned off as well because even without being a postal worker or having a jacket that taps on things, I will still accidentally turn something on or off using that. So I like that to be off as well.
When I get in the car, of course, my audiobook starts playing and the control for it shows up right here. And you're right. I should have thought of this. I accidentally hit pause sometimes because it's right there on my wrist. And I don't really want to see that control on my wrist, especially in the car. I have control in the car. Elsewhere. So, I want to see the time. I want to see my calendar. I want to see how late I am for iOS Today, that kind of thing.
Right. And then last but not least is Michael, who is writing in about a bit of advice from an even earlier episode. And this was something that I think is important to remember. So Michael wanted to install the iOS 14 beta on their iPhone, much like the listener who wrote in about trying to install the iOS 14 beta on their iPhone and not being able to do so because the site was showing that it was not being installed on an iOS device, even though the person was using their iPhone. And Michael pointed out that could be because the person had set request desktop site to be turned on for that site. That, of course, is a really good point and is an issue. It is very easy to turn that off. So if you are on your iPhone, you can see that I'm on the PG&E website right now. And in the top left corner, there's a small a and a large A. And if we tap on that small a and large A, you see settings for the website. And right now I have this turned off, but I'm going to turn it on just so you can see. I'm going to choose request desktop site, and it's going to reload the page. If I tap that again, I can choose request mobile website. So by tapping that, then it's going to send to the website the information that says, hey, I am currently accessing this site from an iOS device. So that can be a way to fix that issue. So if other people are trying to install the iOS 14 public beta and are having issues doing so, using that option should help you install the iOS 14 beta. Up next, we've got app caps. So let's get our hats put on our heads.
It's time to wear our beautiful hats, our beautiful, beautiful hats. This hat signifies the importance and dignity of the applications which we are about to celebrate.
Oh, yes.
We are so dignified right now.
I see the dignity and I respect it.
I like how you're wearing yours on top of the headphones. We have yet to figure out. I should wear the Raycons with this, but I just don't have a Bluetooth thing I could pair with that would give us show audio, or I would. It would be a lot better.
I normally wear my in-ears, but my ears were hurting me, and so I did not want to wear my in-ears. So got my red cap over.
That's actually appropriate. That's the Tony Soprano hat. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's a Homburg, a bright red Homburg, which I acquired to go with my sharkskin suit when I go downtown.
Nice game engine you got there. Be ashamed if something
happened to it.
All right, my app cap is available for free in the App Store with a tipping feature if you so choose, and it is called the Wallpaper App. What happens if you would like to have a simple wallpaper on your phone or iPhone, or on your iPhone or your iPad or your Apple Watch or your Mac, and you want to change it regularly, but you also don't want a wallpaper that's going to interfere with your app icons? Well, that's where the Wallpaper App comes in. It is a procedurally generated, a computer generated, a magically generated wallpaper that you can make hundreds of thousands of different options for. So I want to show you, this is the app, and it is all gesture based. So we start with this one style, but I'm going to swipe to the left to change styles to gradient landscape, blinded, dot to dot, master plan, which is one of my favorites, cube jumble, spiralizer, pill panels. I'll stop here soon. Hello, sir. And so there was the end of it. And we'll go back and let's go with cube jumble. So swiping to the left and the right lets you change the pattern style that you want. Tapping automatically generates new versions. And again, these are randomly generated on the fly by the app. So no two are the same. You can see some of them have vignettes. And then swiping up on the screen lets me make some changes here. I can choose a dark version, I can choose a light version, or I can choose a normal version. I'm going to choose light for a second here, and then I can go in and change the color however I want to. And then once again, I can tap at any time to change which version it is. And then if I swipe down from the top, I can see kind of in full form what the actual photo would look like. And then this is my other favorite part, tapping and holding. So let's say I like this one. Tap and hold. Well, maybe not this time. Why is that not working? Oh, I have to choose save. Never mind, not tap and hold. If I choose save this wallpaper, then I can send it to someone very easily. But there should be a...
Isn't
oh,
there
that's what I was doing wrong.
Yeah,
okay,
there you
that's
go.
what it was.
Yeah.
So I can hold down here on the bottom.
The resolution.
Yes. And so that way I can set it up for this device specifically. I can have one for my iPhone. I can choose one for the watch, 5K for the Mac, 4K for the Mac Mini. And so I would want to choose, let's say, the 42 millimeter watch. And then I can send that very easily, and it will, I can make it available on my Apple Watch. So what I love about this is that there are loads of different wallpapers that aren't going to interact with your icons and kind of get in the way. And then there are just so many different options that are available across the whole spectrum of colors and styles here. So you and another person will never have the same wallpaper at the same time. And there are just so many different options that are available in this app. I think Master Plan is my favorite by far here. And so, yeah, you can create hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wallpapers and save them and make them available for all of your different devices.
I like it that it's free. But and then if you feel good about it, you give them a little money.
Yeah.
You cut them a little cash.
That is the Wallpaper app, a way to generate wallpapers of all sorts and have them sort of fade into the background as opposed to standing out too much behind your icons.
So, did you used Windows in your day? Perhaps?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
There was a game that's been there's a game that I think started coming with Windows 95, maybe even Windows 3. It's one of the oldest PC games ever. It's called Minesweeper. You ever play Minesweeper?
I have, and boy, howdy, I loved it.
I know novelists who take Minesweeper off their computer along with Solitaire because it distracts them from writing. They know if it's there, that's just one game. So the premise of Minesweeper is it's kind of like Solo Battleship. You're looking at a game board which is made up of squares. It's a grid. And under some squares are empty spaces, but under some squares are bombs. You're told how many bombs, but that's all you're told. You tap the first square. If you're lucky, it's not a bomb, and it reveals number codes that reflect how many bombs any given square touches. If a square doesn't touch any bombs, it's just a blank square. If it touches one bomb, it'll say 1, 2, it'll say 2, and so forth. From then, you are expected to use logic to figure out what the rest of the screen is. Now, from day one, Minesweeper was kind of flawed because that very first tap is always a guess, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to have some percentage chance of success, some percentage chance of failure, depending on how many bombs are on the board. Well, there's a guy, and actually this all comes from a Reddit post that I read. A guy who said, I always wanted to do Minesweeper without any guessing, so that it could all be logic. And he's actually written it for iOS. So if you're a Minesweeper fan, you're going to love this. It's called Mineswifter. Get it? It's written in Swift. And it is designed so that there are no guesses, that every move you make can be logically proven to be the correct move. Once he did that, though, he then made a second companion app, Mineswifter ? Which is the evil version of Mineswifter.
What?
Which is always gonna screw with you. So I'll show you the original first. It's a beautifully done Minesweeper, very much in the style of Apple. You get daily challenges, so you can go do those. You can also choose from easy to normal to advanced, and that's totally based on the size of the board, from 9 by 9 with 10 mines to 30 by 16 with 99 mines, which, by the way, that's the advanced board, is great for iPad because it fills the screen, right? Now, here's the secret on this. He's written the code in such a way that there are no bombs placed at all right now. You start the game when you tap any button because you're guaranteed that that button will not hit a bomb. But what the code will then do is then figure out what those numbers are. You see these blank screens, there's no bombs nearby. But you see the ones, that means that square touches one bomb. I shouldn't have to explain Minesweeper. We have two choices. One is this is an open square, this is a bomb. I'm going to flag this one because whenever you see a 1 in a corner, there has to be a bomb there. Same thing here, has to be a bomb there. Has to be a bomb here, has to be a bomb here. Just because that square touches one bomb and it only touches one other square has to be a bomb. But that also tells you where you see that a little bit more. For instance, here's another one already touching a bomb. So these three, those can't be bombs, right? But this one has to be a bomb. So there's a lot of logic involved, especially as we go down the board. You know, once you see this situation, now we're going to have to be very careful here because we're not in a corner. Let me zoom in, by the way. And this has that also, which is, I think, really nice, the ability to kind of say, I'm going to really focus on this particular area. What can I figure out by these 4 ones in a row? And so you can use logic. And that's the point of this. He's designed Mineswifter so that it's fully solvable, purely by logic. You will never get to a square where you have a 50-50 chance where you have to guess. He does have a timer up here. You'll also get stats. Here's a counter. There's 94 other bombs that I haven't yet found on this board. There's even a hint button, which will subtract time, but will suggest areas to look at. And in fact, it just revealed some bombs down there to help me out. That 4 has 4 bombs around. By the way, that's a pretty good hint. It had to be because that 4 is only touching 4 squares, so all of them have to be bombs. And again, I can go on here and say, well, look, that 2 is already touching 2 bombs, so this can't be a bomb, and this has to be a bomb, and on and on and on. So this is fun because unlike the Windows Minesweeper, they could have done this, but they didn't. They did the lazy version, which is they just put bombs on a map and said, good luck. But this one, they spent some time really making it logical. There's some settings. You can say, tap to reveal, tap to flag, a double tap, which I find hard to do. Sometimes I don't want to accidentally touch a bomb, so I'm always just switching up here. But you can use the double tap. You can celebrate winning with confetti. Yay! Easily cleaned up, no glitter. You can change your background. They're all pretty much the same. It's not, just different colors. Now, I have it set for hints reveal the answer. I just want to have hints show where to solve. That's really a lot more fun. So now if I do hint, it's just going to blink a square and say, work over here because there's a logical solution down here. That's really more challenging. So this is nice. This is free for now. He says I might start charging a couple of bucks for it. But right now, Mineswifter is absolutely free. And then I will show you Mineswifter ? The evil version of Mineswifter. Looks exactly the same, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there are lots of places where you have to guess in here. So this is, if you like, a little bit more of an evil version of Minesweeper. Minesweeper is one of those, not super challenging. It's fun. There's actually, and I probably should mention this and even suggest you download it. There's a version that's a similar idea, but is a little bit more interesting logically, called Hex, that's been around for quite some time. But Minesweeper is kind of one of those classics. It's kind of fun to play once again after a long time, to play a little Minesweeper. And it is definitely, the nice thing is when you play this Minesweeper, you know that if you're looking at a board, it's solvable by applying logic. And that really helps you kind of work on your brain, grow your brain a little bit.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Mineswifter. It's free for now on the App Store, and it's my app cap. And that is iOS Today.
We've done it, folks. Yet again. iOS Today.
If you want to watch us do this show live, including all our fumbles and fooling around, all you have to do... Flubs. All you have to do is tune in around 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern Time, 1600 UTC of a Tuesday morning or evening or afternoon. And that's at twit.tv/live. The live streams have audio and video available. You can also get on-demand versions of the show. That's really how most people consume it, so they can listen at their convenience. They're on the website, twit.tv/iOS. They're on YouTube. There's an iOS Today channel. But really, the best way to do it is get a podcast client. Subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. You don't have to think about it. It's just there on your phone the minute you want to watch or listen. And we do audio and video of all of our shows. Mikah, if people want to make a suggestion, make a correction, how can they do that?
Well, if you want to send in your nerd diagrams or other things, you send those to iostoday@twit.tv. We accept video, we accept audio, and we accept text. So feel free to send it in any of those formats. If it's video or audio, try to keep it under 30 seconds so we don't have to edit anything down. But outside of that, we'd love to hear from you.
We always do. We always want to hear from you. I'm off to play a sweaty game of Minesweeper.
Sorry it's sweaty.
Gonna really have to think to solve this puzzle. But we will see you right back here next Tuesday for iOS Today. I'm Leo Laporte.
I'm not actually Leo Laporte, but Mikah Sargent.
Oh, I thought you were Leo this whole time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on iOS Today. Bye-bye. Today.
Want more Twit? Well, check out Smart Tech Today. It's at twit.tv/STT. It's the show where Matthew Casanelli and I cover everything there is to know about smart tech. It's automation, it's connected devices, it's smart home, it's all those goodies and so much more. We get the news, we get the latest devices, we do reviews, everything. You gotta check it out, twit.tv/STT for Smart Tech Today.